Hello, and welcome back. Today's topic, I think it's going to be a very cool topic. It's can you make money using one single strategy at a time, aka one system? Okay? Before I dive in, quick disclaimer I'm not a financial advisor, so take it, whatever I say to you, with a grain of salt. Do your own due diligence. I'm not recommending you to trade the way that I do, but this is what I do personally. Okay? Here's the idea. The idea is very simple. Is it possible to make money, and I'm using significant amount of money, not just pocket change, but actual money that we'll be able to live off kind of thing, with just one single strategy? Okay? Then what kind of pros and cons for that approach, and is it doable at all? So let me talk about this particular system. I will show you what the system is in the next video, so wait for it. But today I'll just show it as an example of what it is and how it works. So this particular system can turn, hypothetical, $100,000 invested into it in 2007 and held all through all these years, and you can see that it actually makes in 18 and a half years makes 2 million out of it, which is pretty significant if you think about it. The returns are maybe not as huge as people may think, but the overall return, just for comparison, market, this is the benchmark, the red line, would make only $400,000 of using the same 100,000 investment, right? Versus this particular system turns $100,000 into 2 million, which is a big difference, huge difference. Just so don't get confused. This is the system. It's called long-term trend following. As I said, I will discuss the actual rules about it in the next video. So, to tell you the truth, it's not that easy to trade that type of a system. Doable, quite doable, but not easy. Look at each year. Some years you make money, some years you don't make money. I mean, you can sometimes outperform the market, sometimes you underperform the market. It's not as important, but the important part is it has a lot of variability, and obviously it will beat the market in the long run, as you can see. But some month can be crazy good and crazy bad. Okay, so in 2022 as an example, at the beginning of the year, it just went down 15%. It's not that easy to survive that type of go down approach. So because of this, don't just say that, oh yeah, I'll be able to trade that system. Just give it to me. Okay, so here's the same exact system, and now I'm running it from 2023 till now. So it's 2.5 years instead of 18 and a half. The reason why I'm showing you, because a lot of the internet is full of all kinds of strategies. People say, and use my strategy, you will be set for life, and this is so good. I mean, look at the curve. Well, not even curve. They're just saying, like, look at the trades, look how much it made. They don't provide you this bottom portion of the drawdown chart, which I'll be talking about, but they just tell you about how much it made. As an example, I can also brag about the system, say, hey, look, in 2.5 years, it doubled your account. Okay, may not be that exciting for some people, but hey, it's still nice 2.5 year advance for your system. Like, you put in $100,000 and in 2.5 years you have $200,000, which is not that insignificant, including all this mass that we had back in April over here, right? So, just to give you a quick overview again, what it is by monthly or yearly, sorry. So that only trades like 22 trades, 12 trades, 28 trades. It doesn't trade a lot per year, just so you know. And monthly again, it has some leaps and some falls. Like this is March. And surprisingly, which is not surprising to me because I know the rules for the system, but surprisingly it didn't lose a dime in April because it was actually sitting in cash. But the whole idea behind that system is it can make money when there is a bull market. Okay? So now, here's the zoomed in view of that system. Let me try to zoom in into that system in the actual application so you will see it more in real time. So here's the system again. Same zoomed in view. Let me just quickly switch back to what it was before, just so you remember. This is where we are, right there. We are switched in to the system, zoom view. So if you notice, imagine that you were so excited to finally go with that system, and it's time to finally use it. Everything is great, and it's beginning of 2023. We're climbing out from the bear market of 2022 because you've been working on it for a long time and decided, okay, I have the rules, I'm gonna go with the system, and nothing. Right? The market is start to go up and you are sitting in cash. Why? Because the rules say so. We're climbing out from the bear market. So the rules are saying that, well, it's not time yet to get in. So you're basically not there. Okay, great. Nothing is happening basically. Okay. Then, as you finally triggered it, you get in and it starts to fall. It started to fall and fell down about 6%. Okay, so imagine how you would feel. Okay, you got in and you start losing money immediately. Actually losing money. Okay, it's about, I think, March-ish time frame. I think this is like a February. This is March time frame. Then it has this way of teasing you. It goes up and then goes down again. Goes up and goes down again. Goes up, goes down again. Right? So it's the teasing motion. And we're already like sitting on half a year in it. Then we continue like the same thing. I'm zooming out a little bit, and you can see that it now makes a huge leap. Finally, it leaps up on you and it makes new highs. So it's no longer just sitting in that drawdown that actually makes new highs. So your 100,000 turns into 120, whatever, 7,000. Okay, looks great, and continues to leap up and goes above the market, right? So it's now beating the market. But it goes down to 10% drawdown at some point in time, which is not that cool. Again, 10% still doable, but not that cool. Then it climbs out from the 10% drawdown and continues to go up and then rolls over. Again, this is this time span of several months. It's not just one day you're looking at or 1 week. We're looking at several months. And it leaps and goes up and down and rolls over, and it's 14%. At this point in time, you may say, okay, you know what, the system stopped working. And some people actually do give up at that point in time. So in this case, I would suggest, okay, hold tight. Well, we know what's going to happen because you already know the history of it. But as you are trading it, you don't know the history yet. So you know it went down 14%, now it starts to go up again. And while we're in the bull market of 2024, and it actually goes up and up and up, which just sounds great, right? It goes up and up. It still has this nasty drawdowns every once in a while. Like this is, I think, in April of 2024. But then it makes new high, and you can see it. We already doubled the account, right? It's $200 and something thousand at that point in time. So we already doubled the account in the middle of 2024. Keyword, middle of 2024. We started in 2023, we doubled the account in 2024, which sounds great, right? So in a year and a half, we doubled the account. Then here comes the August of 2024. Again, the scare went down, and it went down 20%. Not just 14% anymore, but 20%. It really went down on you, right? And then it has the teaser, and then it went down again, and finally started to make any money. And then I'm trying to scroll it faster. It went and made even more money for you, which is great, all the way up to, I think it's February over here of 2025. And then it went down another to 20, get 20% drawdown and stays flat. Stays flat up and for a while till May. This is middle of May of 2025, and you can see it started to work a little bit. Nowhere near the top that it had, at 240k ish, something like that it made. So it lost significant amount of money, like 40,000 for you, and then it went up. So in other words, pros and cons for this approach. It's much easier to execute because there are not that many trades that you have to do for this type of system. Yes, it can only do, let's say, 20 trades per year, right? So a lot of times you're just sitting and waiting and looking and waiting and looking and waiting again. Have the due diligence, trying to execute the trades and see if there is any kind of signal. If there's none, then you don't do anything. But otherwise, it can make significant amount of money, as you saw. It has this leaps every once in a while. It leaps up, right? So that's the pros side. Con side, it has this wild swings. It can make new money and then drop. It makes new money and then drop, right? It's much harder to stay calm and collected and patient, to actually wait for your results and wait for your trades and wait for the executions. It really is not that easy. Also, the most important part, it's very hard to trust and have confidence that that system will give you riches, right? So it will continue actually working, because as you saw, as you're sitting on that right edge, as that right edge is progressing, and as you go into drawdown, you will have all kinds of doubts in your system that it may not work. It will stop. It stopped working. I actually need to change it, do something else. It sits in cash. I need to get out. All of this is in your head. And let me tell you, I have it in my head too. But because of this particular reason, I don't trade one system. Like this is an example of 17 systems combined for all kinds of market conditions. Because like that system that I will be discussing and showing you in the coming video, it works basically mostly in the bull market mode. It doesn't work that well when the market goes sideways or market is in a bear market. It has the protective features for you, as you saw it goes into cash when it's a bear market or severe correction, but it will work only mostly when it's a bull market mode, and it can make significant amount of money during the bull market mode. But I have other systems which will allow you to compensate. So this is some 17 systems which allow you to compensate for all kinds of things. And returns, same $100,000, you can turn into 51 million. I mean, obviously it's hypothetical returns. Take it with a grain of salt, once again, in the same span of 18 and a half years, okay? Because this is the combination of different systems. Maximum drawdown is still 18%, no longer it's 30% that we had with that system. So from that perspective, it's already protecting you, right? And it has these features. Now, what I personally have, I personally run 59 systems. Again, it's not about bragging. It took me almost 5 years to get to where I am. So I'm personally trading 59 systems. My returns are not as good per se as the 17 systems I just showed you in the workshop, which you, by the way, can purchase if you really want to get those systems. Besides the point. But my main objective is the bottom portion, is the drawdown. I don't want to exceed my drawdowns to be honest, more than 15 to 20%. I don't want to have them. So my goal is to be around 10% drawdown. And if I exceed, because I can expect mentally that it may go up to 20, I'm still going to be fine. I don't want to test it out for 20% drawdown and then exceed it to be 40% drawdown. That's too much for my liking. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm opted for better the drawdown handling versus the higher Kager. I can manage it and make it higher if I wanted to. So here's an example of my actual account value, and I started trading in 2020 in August. You can see that I increased my account size. Again, it's significantly increased. And just so you understand, so this is the screenshot of my real account. I'm hiding the account number, but this is my real account, and that was at around 2 p.m. Eastern time that I took it, and the market at the time made 1.2%. The symbol, the MES symbol, which is the micro contract for S&P 500 futures, and this is how much market made versus how much I made at that time. But because the point is, if I compare it to the market, you can see that I'm outperforming the market in general. I will not outperform when it has this like a V reversals. That is why I'm actually going sideways in this particular case. But I am going to outperform when there is a panic, like here in COVID times. Okay, so that's, or as you can see, it didn't go down as much as the market did, let's say back in 2022. Okay, so it actually went sideways and made a little bit of money. Not much, but it's made a little bit of money. So that's my overall conclusion for this short video, that can you trade, the original question, can you trade one system? Yes, you can, but with a caveat. Psychologically, it's not that easy, and there's a lot of variability of results, this up and down motion, so keep that in mind. So you need to find a way to trade multiple non-correlated systems. If you have the questions, what it means to have multiple non-correlated systems, send me an email to info@tradingsystems.com. Also, you can check out our site, tradingsystems.com, where there is a lot more information, a lot of free stuff. You can register for a free course. And don't forget to check us out on Amazon. We have these 4 books in Amazon, and by Lawrence, 3 books by Lawrence. He just released in April his last book, The Trading Retirement Accounts, and I am working on my second book. Actually, I'm probably I will have a second edition for my Wealth Well Managed book, and then a second book as well. So stay tuned, and hopefully I'll talk to you soon.